What up, y'all? It's me, Chris. Just got back from watching this Dream 9 event. Pretty entertaining card for the most part, although the main event was a bit of a disappointment the way it ended. I'm just going to run through the fights as they were broadcast. First fight was Bob Sapp versus Minowa, or Minowa Man as he goes by now. Sapp got Minowa down early, got on top, but Minowa was able to sweep him, and pretty shortly thereafter threw on a Achilles lock, kind of a different looking leg lock. But Sapp tapped out pretty quick. Not really surprised. Kind of saw the fight going that way. So, Minowa Man moves on in the tournament. And Sapp, hopefully, he looked like he kind of was bothered by the move. Hopefully he's not hurt because I know he has a match against Bobby Lashley, I believe, next month. So, scheduled. So, hopefully that fight will still take place. Next up, we had Hongman Choi versus Jose Canseco making his MMA debut. I really like the intros and the video packages they do before the fights. On all the fighters and whatnot, they were showing Canseco hitting home runs, on the A's and all that stuff. But and the walks to the ring were always entertaining. Jose Canseco had a bat, and he had some old school karate instructor black pants and some shoes. I don't know what the shoes were. They looked like some women's Keds or something. I don't know. But he got in there, landed a couple punches, surprisingly to no effect. They were kind of just wild haymakers. But once Hongman Choi started throwing, Jose just started kind of running around the ring, running away from contact. It looked like he actually hurt his ACL or something. I don't know. I haven't looked anything up yet, but looked like he hurt his knee, got caught with the little hit shot and went down. Hongman Choi jumped on top of him, landed about 3-4 hammer fists. Not even clean, to be honest. Last couple were to the back of the head. And Jose taps out and gets out of there without getting murdered. So, credit for him, he probably got a pretty decent payday and didn't get killed. So, but he should never fight again. It's just going to be more of the same. Next up, we had Sokoju against Jean the Giant Norte. Basically, a K1 fighter against an MMA fighter. Sokoju had a little trouble getting Norte down because Norte was cheating and grabbing the ropes. But once he got Norte down, he just started unloading with bombs. A lot of good punches from the top by Sokoju. Ref waved it off. Sokoju was going nuts, just kept throwing punches even as the ref was trying to break him up, which pissed off Norte's corner, including Ray Cepho. They were trying to go after Sokoju. It's pretty exciting. Cepho would definitely stand and he'd kick Sokoju's ass, but Sokoju didn't want to mix it up. He was content. I just think the adrenaline got to him. Either way, easy win for Sokoju. He moves on in the tournament. Last fight of the Super Hulk tournament. Jacare Musashi against Mark Hunt. Not much to say here. Musashi actually caught Hunt with the punch, it looked like, and Hunt went down. Either that or he slipped, but it looked like he clipped him with something. From there, Musashi got in side control. Threw on a Kimura shortly thereafter. Hunt taps. Not much to say. Musashi moves on. Kind of saw the fight ending that way as well, so not surprised. Next up, we had I believe was the Kawajiri versus Jay-Z Cavalcante fight. Pretty exciting fight. Not quite as exciting as I thought it would be, but it was still good. First couple minutes, Cavalcante, they were standing. Cavalcante landed a couple clean punches, but Kawajiri went for a takedown. Cavalcante, Jay-Z, threw on a guillotine attempt. That's one of his favorite moves. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to finish Kawajiri, so from there on out, Kawajiri pretty much dominated the match. In top position, he was able to land, the more effective punches. And whenever they got back to the feet, the ref stood him up, or they just stood up. Kawajiri, his stand-up was crisper, was landing the bigger punches with more on him, was landing more frequently. Cavalcante was landing his share of shots as well, but just not as effective. And Kawajiri, throughout the fight, was able to get takedowns, when he wanted to, and was able to control from top position. Cavalcante had been out for a year or so on a layoff, and it kind of looked like it towards the end of the fight. He looked a little winded, but Kawajiri wins the unanimous decision here, rightfully so. Good performance by both fighters, but definitely the better performance by Kawajiri. Next up, we had the featherweight tournament. First fight was Abel Cullum against Hideo Tokoro. I thought Cullum would win this fight. Actually, I gotta say, man, this was the fight of the night by far. A very exciting fight. These guys put on a grappling clinic. I mean, they were just, Tokoro had Cullum in a triangle early on in the first. And I thought it was over. I said, it's over. He was in that triangle. It looked tight. But credit to Abel Cullum. He was able to survive. He was in that triangle for quite a while. But he was able to, sustain it, eventually escape, and fight on. These guys were trading offensive grappling moves, a lot of positioning on the ground. Very technical ground battle. Tokoro was going for numerous submissions that Cullum was able to fight out of. On the feet, not too much happened. It was most of this fight was on the ground. Went to the second round. Tokoro, I believe, got the takedown. I'm not sure who got the takedown, but Cullum looked gassed, and Tokoro was able to slap on a rear naked choke, and Cullum had to tap out because otherwise he was going to go out. So, props to Tokoro. I picked Cullum to win the fight. Tokoro won. Fight of the night, really exciting performance, a really good fight. Next up we had, I think next was Yoshihiro Maeda against Hiroyuki Takaya. It was a pretty good fight back and forth. On the feet, they were kind of trading. No one was really getting the better of each other. On the ground, Maeda would get takedowns. He was definitely getting the better. He was in top position on Takaya. He was landing shots there, cut Takaya. Not doing too much damage, but he was definitely controlling the fight when he had Takaya on his back. But the fight was stood up, or Takaya got up on a sweep. I don't recall exactly, but under a minute left in the first, Takaya clipped Maeda with a big shot. Definitely stunned Maeda. Maeda went down. Takaya went on the ground, jumped on him, threw a couple more punches, and the ref stopped it, which is kind of unfortunate. Right when he stopped it, Maeda looked to be trying to catch an armbar. Now, whether he would have caught it or not is, one thing. But the fact of the matter is, he had his faculties together enough to be able to apply it, or attempt to apply it. So, I think the ref stopped it a little too soon. But, Maeda didn't complain too much, so what are you going to do? But, I would have just liked to see it go on. But Takaya gets the win and moves on to the tournament. Next up was Masakazu Imanari against Viviano Fernandez. Worst fight of the night, to be honest. Very boring fight. Imanari, specialized in leg locks. Pulled guard a lot, was going to his back a lot. Was trying to get Fernandez to go down there and, play into his game. But Fernandez wasn't having none of it. He mostly stood over him when he was on his back. Kicking him in the legs. Fernandez never really wanted to get in the guard of Imanari. And on the feet, they just did mostly a lot of moving around and staring, no action. The Japanese fans were actually booed a couple times, which you don't see very often from Japanese crowds. Just not much happening, not much of a fight. Fernandez wins the decision, but a rather lackluster performance by both fighters. Nothing really happened. If you didn't see this fight, don't go out of your way to watch it because you will be disappointed. Last fight of the tournament for this round was Kid Yamamoto making his return against Joe Warren, who was making only his second fight. I thought Kid would win this fight. I thought he had a huge advantage standing. I thought the wrestling would cancel each other out. But, when they were standing, Kid definitely had advantage. He landed kicks to the body, threw some kicks to the leg, definitely landed the harder punches. Got to give Joe Warren credit. The guy's got a pretty solid chin. He got hit with a few pretty good punches, but never really looked hurt or stunned. But Warren played his game. Would get Kid against the ropes, take him down. Was in top position a lot throughout the fight. Didn't do a lot of damage, but he did enough damage. He cut Kid. Just controlled the fight more often than not with the top game. On the feet, Yamamoto was in charge, but on the ground, Warren was in charge. Went to a decision, and Joe Warren went to split decision. I was actually surprised, I thought maybe, with Kid being the big star in Japan, star of the tournament, that he might get the decision, but they gave it to Warren. And I guess, I think Warren deserved it. So, a lot of credit to Warren. Only his second fight, going against Kid Yamamoto, one of the best fighters pound for pound, and being able to pull out that victory. So he moves on. He may be the man to beat in the tournament at this point. We'll see. I think he may be. Either him or Fernandez. Anyways, on to the main event. Ronaldo Jacare Souza versus Jason Mayhem Miller in a rematch from last year's fight where Jacare won a decision. Big disappointment. Really loved the intro by Mayhem. Always entertaining as always. Brought up the schoolgirls with them. Did a little dance routine, a little choreography. Mayhem always is an entertaining fighter in and out of the ring, But fight got started. Jacare went for a takedown. I believe Miller grabbed the rope or got caught in the rope. I think Jacare got a takedown. Miller got up. They were standing. Jacare went down on something. I don't know if he just slipped and went down or what it was. But Mayhem Miller threw a kick, and his shin connected with the top of Jacare's head and cut him really bad on top of his head. Really deep laceration. I guess the kick is illegal. I didn't know you weren't able to kick guys on top of or in the head when they were down. But you're not. The doctors looked at the cut for a while, let the fight continue, but only about a couple more minutes into it, the fighters were kind of getting into it, grappling, up top and whatnot. But the blood was just flowing. It was just too much. The referee broke the fight up again. And the doctor stopped the fight based on the cut. Too bad, because right when he broke it up, Miller and Jacare were talking a lot of trash to each other. Definitely was a bit of an animosity there. Miller said after the fight, he just got caught up in the moment, threw the kick, and unfortunately, the fight ended in a TQ, or no contest. So, I don't know. I guess I'll get a rematch. Probably. I would assume so, because it was for the Dream Middleweight title. But just kind of a bad note to end the night on. But overall, it was a pretty entertaining night of, or entertaining event. Definitely worth checking out. Interested in seeing the next round of the tournament, especially the Super Hulk one. It was pretty entertaining. Although the next round will be much more evenly matched at this point. But good night of good event. It's not a can't miss if you don't see it, but it's worth checking out if you have the time. Anyways, that's it for now, y'all. I'm out of here. Till next time. Bye.